You're live.
I'm live. Okay, I don't know, let's see who's with us. Not anybody yet, but they will be coming soon. I know. I've been telling them about it. Today we're going to do something real interesting I've not really done before, and I'm going to do it in a free video. I've done it before in paid classes, but I've not done it in a free video. And I thought, well, maybe it would be a good time to give it a try. You know, we're in the winter doldrums and people are feeling kind of like cabin feverish, and maybe they'll get excited about this because it isn't hard at all. It's an assemblage project, but most of the things you use are lace trims and bits of this and that, Maybe put some resin roses if you're rhinestones, but it's really pretty, and people who make them sometimes get pretty good money for them. So I thought, well, maybe that's some impetus to try it. And these, I showed you last week what would be in the kit for this class. We sold out on the kit. But I'm going to be using mostly parts from that kit to make the cuff. So you'll be able to see how I go about it. Because, I don't know, a lot of people might think of it like, got to use yardage or this and that. No, it's snippets of this and that, so you never throw anything away. Kind of like scrapbookers, that kind of thing. So anyway, before I get started though, I would like to thank you I'm going to take these off because it throws a glare in there really bad. I wanted to thank you very much for the support you've been giving the videos lately and leaving me lots of last week we had a lot of comments. We had a lot of views for a week. I think we had close to 670 views, something like that, last week, which for us in 1 week is pretty good. Over time, it'll be much more than that, but like some content creators, their stuff goes like 2,000-3,000 right out of the gate. Mine don't. And I don't feel bad about it because I think I do something a little different. And maybe people are just looking for an easy beading or wire project. And it seems like those ones do really good. I'm looking to do something to do with assemblage, no matter what you use, because I'm an assemblage artist. And it could incorporate a little bit of wire. It could incorporate a little bit of resin. It could incorporate any number of things, poly, clay, epoxy sculpt, things like that. But today we're going to do it on fabric. And to be honest with you, I think it's a very worthy project because there are some things that maybe some of you have not done before. And, I take for granted, oh, they know how to do that. But maybe you don't. So I'll show you. So this class will run about an hour. My videos usually do, but I'm not going to do a lot of chit chat, back and forth. I'm going to get into the project, and then periodically I'll stop and see if anybody has any questions, because you're important to me and I want to answer your questions, but I also want to do a really good job to the best of my capability of teaching this class. And that's the reason you came here, right? So anyway, I will mention if you are somebody who expects to learn this technique in 10 minutes, you're in the wrong place. I don't know of a way to teach it that way unless I did fast action or something, and then details would be lost. So anyway, so if you would please, if you have not done it, you could subscribe to my channel. There's a lot of great content. We have made over 605 videos over the last 14 years, and they're all worth looking at. Even if we don't carry the stuff that we use in it anymore, there are techniques there that can be used in another way. So, and we have everything from polymer clay to epoxy sculpt to decoupage to metal smithing, a little bit of metal smithing, just all the kind of thing. But basically, at the end of the day or the end of the time, I land in assemblage, and that's because that's who I am. And I think there are a lot of ways you could go with it, and it doesn't have to take you forever, So if you please leave us a like and subscribe if you haven't. A lot of you guys have, I know already. And also leave us a comment that's not here in the feed. That's just between us. That's not going to show on the front. They won't even be able to access it for a couple of days, most people. So YouTube counts what they see in the front of the video under the video description. So I need you to make a comment there. You'll see, if you just scroll down from it, you'll see that there are comments there. So if you could leave it there, I don't care if it's small, high, that counts, you know. And I'm glad to hear from you. Anybody has questions, if I don't get them answered here, ask them again there, because we will see them. We're very careful about catching everybody and responding, okay? So let's see, I'm just going to look real quick and see who's here.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to get into the project. So Andrea Skitter's here. Let's see. Dara, Debbie, Nicholas, Carol Chasko's here. Pat Pardon. Hey, Pat, how you doing? Colleen Bullocks is here. And that's Annalisa's here. So, that's a nice thing to say, Pat. I would say, I don't know that it's one of a kind. There are other people doing it, but I think we're all one of a kind in some way, aren't we? Because even if it's a technique someone else has done, we do it our way. At least I hope you do. That's the whole goal, that you do it your way, with your own shtick, your own way with it. Like Pat is a beater, she does use wire, but when you look at the things that she makes, they're Pat things. They're not copied from something. And that's the whole goal, is to take a technique, turn it around and inside out and make it look like you. So that's what makes you unique. Okay, so I think Marty, how you doing? Hello. Okay, I'm going to get into this so I don't take your whole day. Or mine, because I'll tell you, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm tired. Can you tell? I'm going to try not to act tired. Okay, if you hear me banging around back here, I'm on a stool. All right, so I'm thinking, Javi, maybe the best thing to do is get the focus off. I never even put my dishes away. Jeez. Well, you got to see my kitchen as it truly is. I meant to come out here and put those away. Anyway, so if we want to scroll down onto here and have a look. And I'll put my glasses back on because now it won't matter. There's Wanda. Colleen Staber. Okay, this isn't finished, guys, but it's as far as I got with this one. But when you see how I set this up, it's super simple. I have to be honest with you. When I first started making this kind of stuff, like when we had Uptown Boho, the first class, I was a little bit stymied on how to do this because it was done so many different ways. And really, that's just folks expressing their way. Like I just told you, that's what you want. But when I looked at it, I couldn't relate to it. So I had to mess around. I got a way I can relate to, and now I can make progress. Have you been like that ever? You know, you wait until you can relate to it and something kicks in, something clicks, and boy, then you go. Well, anyway, this is how I got with this. So it's basically a piece. Oh, I got pieces on here that I haven't glued on. Anything else? No. Okay, so it's basically a piece of lace about, a hair over 7 inches. In the kits, for those of you who got them, there is at least one piece like that. If it's not quite long enough, I'll show you what to do to make it work. That's another thing. It's about all about making it work. So it's about, and let's see how wide. Widest place, almost 3. That's wide. But anyway, what I've done, this is just layered. This is what the back looks like. So you can see the lace that's on the back and how I turned it over so that I could stitch my snaps on. And I decided that I would use snaps for mine. Not a lot of people use snaps. I'm not sure why. There's it's very popular to make elastic loops and sew them in on the end and then put buttons on this end and put them on. To me, that would be hard on and off, but then most bracelets are hard on and off to begin with. But hooks and eyes, that's another idea. You know, there's no right or wrong. There are a lot of people who will take and put those huge eyelet rivets, you know, on the ends here, like, they have another name, grommet. and I'll put them here, and they'll thread ribbon through it, and then they'll tie it. Well, it looks really pretty. That'd be a nice look for, like, if you're making it for bridesmaids or something. But for me, that look doesn't work for me, because that ribbon's going to get loose, and it's going to come out, and it's going to get dirty. No, it's not. I don't like that look. But if you want to try it, go ahead. You might find a better way. Anyway, so this is what it looks like on the back. Very simple. I just took a piece of lace. Here's another one. Just took a piece of lace and set it down, and then I glued the ends over just like this. If you don't like the idea of gluing it, sew it. It'll take you a little minute, but you can do it. You have to start way down here and up to here, and then get it tight. Okay, you could take, if you want to, if you have a little craft iron, or even just a big iron, you can turn it over a little bit. And I would say turn it over about, maybe a 1/4 inch, 3/8. You don't want a lot. And you're going to do it on both sides, okay? Now the thing is when you're going to put your snaps in, you need big ones, like these. They're big. Look, that's upside down. Okay, so I don't know if you see it, but have you wondered why I only have the snaps on one side here? You don't see it on this? Because it has to fold over the top, and then it'll snap in. Crunch. There's a little crunch sound. And it's very important that you get the snaps at least in close proximity, because if you don't, it's going to be off. You're not going to like it. So it's better to take a little bit of time with your snaps, mark it off, and get them in the right place. So anyway, and I have to do some more glue work on this, but anyway, that's what it looks in the back. Nice. Nice and finished. So it's going to go all the way around. And you have to take into account, where those are going to, see, this isn't glued all the way yet, so it's sticking up. I used the E6000 fabric glue, which I like. I have to say I like. I'll show you the tube. But it takes a little longer to dry, So anyway, so you want to take into account that you're going to need some room over here to put your snaps. So you're not going to want to go and decorate this whole thing before you put your snaps on, probably, because you may have to take and move some things to make the snaps work. And you want to be careful that you don't get fabric into them. Now see, this one here has a little bit of crossover. I think it'll be okay, but you don't want to get anything fabric into it. And I know my snaps don't look real good, but they work, and that's the main thing. Yeah, they've chipped some paint off already, so it's better maybe to buy these nice stamps, which I got at Joann's, which I guess are going out of business. I don't have any of these like I could get wholesale. Well, I haven't looked, so there you go. But these would be much prettier, I think. I should have used those. But anyway, these work. So be careful when you get them in here. Put them, mark your place, maybe with a little stitch or with a pin or whatever, I don't know, and mark where they're going to need to be so they will line up with your other side. And to be honest with you on these, I think they come over too far. If I was to do this again, and I will put them closer out to the edge, but you've got to sew them on really well. If you just go through it one time and go around and finish it off, they aren't going to stay on. I suppose you could use these 6000 and glue them. Maybe over time, if you wore the bracelet a lot, they might come up a little bit, but you know what? I have used regular old E6000, this stuff, on fabric things for 30 years. I used to do those great big decorated coats, and I used to take vintage lace and doilies and hang off of them, and puff paint and all kinds of crazy stuff. and it would hold it. You could actually wash it. The denim duster that I made, those denim dusters I made, you could wash them and nothing came off. Or if it did, easy enough to put it back on, but no. So you could probably try using E6000 on here. And then you don't have to sew them, which makes it kind of cool because it takes a little time to get them sewn on there and get them in line well. And I haven't done it I'm going to be honest with you, I have not sewn on a snap for a while, so they didn't look ugly. But anyway, but they're going to work, and that's the main thing. And then I was telling you about this stuff too. This is new, at least it is to me. E6000 fabric, let's see if we're online. Fabrifuse. It has a little bit of stretch to it, which is nice for something like this. And it says, it's low odor. Yes, it is low odor. I hardly can smell it. And believe me, E6000, you know it's there, you know. That's the one thing I don't like about it. And it's permanent, and it's washable, and it's clear. I can attest to that. So it might be worth getting a little bit. I have a source for this, so I will get some more, but I don't have any right now because I didn't know if I wanted to invest in this till I monkeyed with it. But I have monkeyed with it now, and I can give it my endorsement because it's working nicely. You know, and you can clean up pretty easy afterwards. But it has a little bit different feel than regular E6000, a little bit runnier maybe. But not bad, just good stuff. You might, if you're gonna do stuff like this, you might want it. I would say get something like this and your tube of E6000, because what I did is on the top, some of these things, the hard things like this is plastic, this, you know, this, I glued that on because I felt, with E6000, because I felt that was the better choice given what I'd done lots of times before. So I glued those on. And you could glue the whole thing on, but it would be better to have a fabric glue. Now, if you don't want to use glue like this could all be sewed on. And I don't think it would show that much if you went through because, you know, this background is netted. And, you know, if you keep your stitches tight and close, you'd probably be all right. And you wouldn't have to use a ton of stitches. Maybe you just want to put the first layer down and some of the other things, but I don't think it's necessary, to be very frank with you. I just don't think so. You need to do it. I think you could make things a little easier on yourself. When it's possible, do that. Okay? So there are 3 layers on this, I think. One was this stuff, of course. I'm going to move this here so you can still see it a little bit while I'm working. So the first one is this. That's the first layer I did. And like I told you, it's around 7.5, this one. And these are in your kits. Some of them might be a little short, some might be a little bit long. Either way, you can make them work. It's not hard. Like I say, I'll show you what to do if they end up a little bit short for you. So basically, I want to turn this, and I'm going to go ahead and do it because I don't think I can really show you the project unless I do it. And you'd probably want to see anyway, so let's just see. So I have this open right here, and I'm going to go ahead and put this, yeah, here's it run. You know, that's another thing I like, you know, how E6000 gets all gunked up in there and you have to pick it out and mess with it and get it to, this stuff runs right out. So I'm putting a little bead right there toward the end because I also don't want this to fray a lot and I want it to get turned over all the way. So I don't know, it's maybe 1/8 of an inch in. Okay. So then I'll take it and I'm going to turn it. Here's where I'll get it all over me. And I want to get it turned as narrowly as possible. But I do have a little room to play with since it's, you know, almost 7.5. Of course, you know, if you have a larger wrist, you're going to have to do something else. And there are lots of ways, and we'll talk about that. Okay, so now this isn't going to stay down right away. That's the thing I don't like about this. It's not an immediate type thing. It takes a little while. So I'm probably going to use E6000 most of the time here so I could get it to stay down. You can see. Hey, maybe we'll put the other side down with E6000 and see what happens. See what the difference is. I don't think it's going to look any different. But see, I got that down so that it'll be a finished edge on the back. You always want to make finished edges. I don't know how many have sewn. I know a lot of you, and I know a lot of you have sewn a lot. But some haven't. Some people, you know, I'm not saying this is a criticism either. Some people are not sure how to sew on a button because they just haven't. You know, you can get those little plastic things to put them back on, or, you know, any number of stuff. But I can't imagine not knowing that because I've known how my whole life. Because why? I've sewed my whole life. My mother is an excellent seamstress, and she taught me a lot. And as I got older, I didn't want to hear anything from her anymore. I was a lunkhead. I could have learned a lot more. I wanted to cut my own patterns and make my own stuff. And sometimes it was fantastic, and other times it was an epic fail. But that's how I learned, so, you know, whatever. Okay. Always put your cap back on. You don't want it to dry out. Get it covered. Okay. I'm going to put this stuff on the other side and just kind of see how it goes. Now, here's another thing to keep in mind. If you decide you want to sew your snaps down, the glue that you use, and you need to go out to the ends, is going to make this right along here really, really stiff. Okay, let me bring it down. It's going to make this really stiff when it dries. And it might be hard for you to get your needle through. So, for some people, or if you get bigger needles, that could work too. But for, you know, maybe this is a case where we'd want to try and do glue. You know, we might want to. Okay, so I'm going to put, whoops, this stuff's already going all over. Should have brought some toothpicks out there. All right. So I'm going to turn this up. This stuff will probably show through a little bit more. I don't know. Well, it won't show. It just will leak through, I guess is what I want to say. Everybody can hear me? I hope so. Let me know if you can't. Because I tend to start out a little bit loud and then I fade away. So just tell me if you can't hear me and I'll step it up. Okay, let's see. Gloria's here. Have you ever tried fusible interfacing? If so, does it work well with the lace? Yeah. That was something I was going to talk about a little bit later. We can talk about it now. I don't know how many know what fusible interfacing is. I love it. When I sewed a lot and I used to make tailored clothes, I used something called Pellon. It wasn't fusible. You had to tack it in. But you couldn't make a good crisp collar or lapel on a jacket if you didn't have it. It was not going to work. You had to have it. So it's just, yeah, it's a stiffener, but not. It doesn't make it real stiff. It makes it's just. It's kind of soft and flowy. Like, you know, they make that stuff for you to embroider on, lacy, stiff stuff, and it's a great product, but not for this. Not to me. It's not. You want something that will give with it, and this is, you know, fabric. So, yeah, that's excellent that you brought it up, Colleen, in case I would have forgot it. Yes, it's excellent. You just have to figure out how you're going to get it on there, and you're good to go. Okay? Most of it is just stick it down and put a craft iron or a regular iron on it, and that sticks it to it. Boom. Done. Nice, huh? Okay, let's see. Also, maybe hand sew with embroidery floss. Yes, you could do that if you wanted to. Personally, I want to get done. And a lot of this stuff just doesn't have to be sewn. But if you're, you know, kind of a purist and think everything should, I know my mom would shudder. No, you can't use your glue on that. Oh, yes, you can. I've been doing it for years. So it definitely works. But, you know, you might just say, oh, that's not, you know, good makering. Okay, if that's what you think. You know, good friends don't have to always agree. But that's the other side of it. You know, could you use a hook and eye? Yes, you could, Maud. You want big ones. Like, I thought I had one down here. Because I was contemplating using it. They were white, and I don't know, I just looked. At the end of the day, I wasn't crazy about how they looked. Well, maybe they'll show up here yet. They might be under something. But yeah, you could use hook and eyes. And if you used a big one, they'd be easy to get on and off. And if you use hook and eyes, I would say you want 3 sets. You want one here, and one here. With snaps, you can probably get by with doing one here and one here. You just have to play around with it, see how it goes for you. But now this one, because I use the 6000, I'm ready to turn it over and start playing with it. It's sticky yet, but oh well. This stuff is not dry because I use this. It's not by any means dry, but it will not take a long time, probably like half an hour. So maybe if you want to use a product like this, which is a lot of people use for fabric arts, a lot. You might want to go set your bases all up first. And then until you get around, like say if you make 4 or 5 until you get done with them, until you get around to the first one again, it'll be ready to go. And you'll be in good shape. Okay, so now we've got that turned over. What I do next, now it's up to you. You could just go over top of this here and never see this edge at all. And use this for your edge that you're going to put your snaps on, maybe. It's a thought. Or go on the front. I think I'm going to go on the front. So now what you need is some of this stuff, or whatever you have that's wide trim that's in your stash of things like this. This one I thought was pretty cool. I haven't seen a lot of it out there that's made just like this. So this was in your kits. If you got a kit, this was in there, okay? And they're like Prego. Okay, so now I gotta snip it off on the ends to see how I'm gonna come out. So I might lose a little bit here, but it won't be much. And you want to try and stay off the design, just on the little webs to get it off. Okay. All right, so that's not quite all the way, but here's how I would make up for that. First of all, you could make it more even when you do it. You know, you can measure it better than I did, because I surely didn't. But what I would do, I like things to be a little bit off. After all, I'm a little bit off. I like to be a little bit off. And then, so I've got this here, but I can substitute something else here and make it look really unique. But I want this to go directly down the middle of that piece. And to be honest with you, if you patch it up like I did with this one, you're not going to see much of it anyway. But it helps to build some strength. So if you want to put it, fine. What you could do if you want to show more, is just not put as much stuff on there. You know, easy peasy. Okay, so I'm going to turn this over. It's got the little spangles on the front of it, so I'm going to do this on the back. Now, here's the thing. If I don't want those spangles, some people don't like them. Okay, so then I put it without them. Whatever you want. But I like them, so I'm going to put them. So now I got to put some of this stuff on. Okay, so I'm basically going to tack it with the glue. You know, you don't have to do anything crazy. Just kind of tack it. And so what I'm doing is I'm going over the flowers because I found that that was the best way. I'll get it on the little trim a little bit here and there. The ends would be important. And I don't think we did anything like this in Uptown Boho. If we did, I'll have to go back and look. I know we have those classes for half off right now. Today's the last day with code 3DAYS. It's the number 3 and then days, all caps, no spaces. And any of the classes, even the more expensive ones like Uptown Boho or the Haskell, They all qualify. Just use that in the box and you get it for half off. I sold a lot of them here the last few days. And then we also have all the chain. And the chain section is on sale, 50% off. I just want to get that cleared down. We had a lot of stuff in there, but it was bits of this and that. Some actually, there was a good bit of it, serious footage. And others not so much. I gotta make sure I got this straight. But I just kind of wanted to clear it down because I have a different vision for that chain section. So have at it. And then the design elements and embellishments section of the website. That is my favorite part of the website, and it's the biggest section. And you just never know what you're going to find in there. It's all 50% off. And I didn't have to do that for 50% off, but I thought, hey, let's make it fun. I'll get more people to try it. There's no minimum with this either, so you could come in and spend $10 if you want. Just to get half off if you use that code, 3 days. All right, but today is the last day, so if you don't get it in today, I'm sorry. It's going bye-bye. I got something else in mind. Go ahead, take advantage of it today. Now, today is Friday. What's the date? It's the 21st?
Yeah.
Okay, Friday.
It is.
Friday, February 21st, 2024. So you can see how quickly that went on. And it's going to stay. This one, not so much. I had to keep it flat. This one's going to stay so I can hold it up and see where I'm going with it. What I'm going to do now is I've got a bunch of little pieces of trim and stuff like that. Now you might think, oh, I got to have yards of that. If I would say, yeah, if you want yards of it, why not? But if you get yards of it, use it judiciously and you will make it go a long way because all you need are scraps. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean. And I don't throw anything away, almost never. I mean, a little sliver of thread or something like that, yeah. But no, like if I only had like this piece left and that's all there was, I'm not getting rid of that. I'll keep that because I could use it. Okay, so what I'm going to do, here, let's move this back so you can see really good. Okay, so you can see, just look in here to where it connects and try not to get more than, the connecting section because then it'll be raggedy. It won't be perfect anyway, but it won't be bad either. So here I cut that, see I gotta trim that a little bit. So here I cut that out. Now I have a nice little design element all on its own. And then if I cut this piece, the leaf that's got pearls on, I'll have another one. Not bad, huh? Okay, that's two. Not bad. Okay, so what I did in this one is I did dot it all over with different little pieces of trim. You can use whatever you have. As long as you can sew it down or glue it down, that's up to you. And I put some of the rosettes in the middle. I might put more. I might take and put, where's that one I just cut off? Well, here's a leaf thing. I know I just cut one off. Oh well, I'll cut it up. Then it'll turn up, right? You could use ribbon roses here too. You could make your own, or you can use ones you have. That would certainly be a lot less expensive than this stuff here. This is expensive. And when I went back to buy more, wouldn't you just know it, didn't have any. I bought some that was similar, but it was pink. I don't know if anybody's going to like that or not, but that's what I could get for now, and I'm just waiting for them to notify me when they have some more. Yeah, I might put that. And I might see, maybe it would look good here, just under that, something. I don't know. I got to think about it, because I have a tendency to charge my stuff up too much. And you know, why use more than is necessary, right? It just costs you more, right? Sure. So I'll put this aside for now. But that's what I did is I cut that off. I don't know where I put that other one. Oh, well. It'll show up someday when I put this away, right? Which will be sooner than later because I'm going to have to make dinner in a little bit. Okay, so, and then here's another piece, you know, so you could like put here, and maybe here, get it in the middle, put another one, figure out what you want, you know, that's, whatever looks good to you, whatever pleases your eye. There's no right, no wrong, just do it. If you don't like it, once you put it down, you can usually get it right off, even if you use the 6000, right? Sure. Okay, so here's the, oh, here it is, another piece. Okay, so basically what I did is I took bits of this, and I am getting some of this in real soon. Should be coming any day, as a matter of fact. It was hard to get for a while, so it looks like maybe that situation's improved. So I'm just going to go in through here and take bits out that will work. And just all you do is just continue to layer it. And if anything comes apart like that, just trim it off. It's no big deal. Just trim it off. It'll be a little bit smaller, maybe. Yeah. I might just be making this worse. Oh, there we go. So you're going to want some of these pieces, and what you want to do is probably take them and put around on the top here. Or however it looks good to you. I mean, this is what I would do, but that doesn't mean that's what you have to do. And you do what makes it look good to you. Or maybe you don't use this at all. You use something else, you know. And you can use whatever colors you want. You don't have to have pink or ivory. I tend to like that for stuff like this, but that doesn't mean you have to use it, you know. So I'm just cutting out this little basket part because that's a good design element. Now, if you want to buy some of this ribbon you didn't get in on the kit, there is some of this on the website. Diane worked really hard, and she got this stuff. She got some of that on. She got some little resin roses that were pretty ribbon roses she got on, and a bunch of ribbon, velvet ribbon that you would use to make stuff like this. So anyway, that's how that goes. Okay, now I had a little pile of stuff I cut already, so let's see what I have over here that I can still use. All right. That's kind of messed up. Anyway, okay, so, I have a lacy little doily in the middle. It looks like the end's cut off. I don't know why, but I treasure when I can find the little lacy doilies that are old, you know, have a little age to them. It's hard to find little ones. They, you know, people made them bigger than they do now. I like the little ones, and that's what that is. It's vintage. So I might put that in the middle. And then what I might do is I might frame it in by putting this here. And some of this, you know, when you put it on, you say, well, Brenda, I can't really see that well. Well, okay. It doesn't have to be super obvious. You know, it's the kind of thing like the more you look at it, the more you discover. And you see how it's layered. And I think that's part of the joy of it, is in seeing how far you can layer it and how you can use your scraps and what's best and what works and what doesn't. You know, that kind of thing. So I have that there. And I had another piece I thought was kind of saved. I might have used it already. Okay. So I have that. So maybe I'm going to start decorating it a little bit now. Well, I have to glue these down first. So maybe I'd glue a little bit more. That one here. I must have left the other ones back in my room because I had a whole bunch of stuff I cut. The lace I have in my hands right now is your favorite. This one?
Yeah.
I like it too. But like I say, I can't always get it. They run out, we have to wait for whatever textile mill it is to make some more. Then grab it real quick. Okay, so I got some of this here left. So I'm gonna go, you put a little bit of it there. I had this there. I could do this. I could put that there. You say, well, Brenda, why are you doing that? You're covering everything up. Well, that's part of it, like I said, to create that little element of surprise. Also, too, it creates dimension in the piece. So that when you glue things on, kind of has an up and down to it, which is, I think, desirable. But if you don't think so, then don't do it. It's all up to you. You are the designer. You are always the designer. Okay. So now these are glued down. I'm just having a look, checking it out. Okay, so to this, I think I would take some of my little guys. You put one there. I had some more of them. Why does this always happen to me? I swear I don't know. But anyway, these are good. We have lots of this ribbon at the website. Here they are. And I just cut it up in little pieces. It's great for when you make velvet tassels or if you make velvet beads. I've showed that in videos before. These are great little adornment for them. Okay, so, oh, that's the one I made already. No wonder there's some more. I said, wait a minute, there's some there already. Yeah, you made it already. Silly kid. Okay. All right, so maybe I'll put this here. And I'm just, like I say, nothing's glued down. I'm just taking a good look at it. What do I like? And then I like these little things, so do I want that in the middle? No, I don't think so. I think I want one off to the side and one off to the side. And maybe I'll put something else in the middle. Maybe I will, hey, there's this. You know what, that doesn't go too good because these are like mauve and that's more of a light pink. I don't like that. Could be this. That could work. Anyway, whatever looks good to you, you do that. That's a little bit too much all in a row for me, so I probably, till I got to that point, would just change it up a little bit from that. But anyways, let's take everything off and put it in one pile so we don't be losing it, right? I gotta get a bottle of water, guys. I'm drying up just a sec.
I'll get you one.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having. We got Javi today
There you go.
helping with the video. She's a hard-working woman. She worked at Dunkin' Donuts all morning. And she came over here. Then she's going to go home and crash, I think.
Yeah. I had a question. How about if it's too short? Like if I made a bracelet and it's too short, what can I do to extend it?
Okay, I'll show you. I got that covered.
Oh, you did? Oh, sweet. I didn't know you had that covered.
And it shows that you don't have to worry, oh no, it's not long enough, what am I going to do? Let me finish this gluing this stuff down and I'll show you this and how you do that. So I was one step ahead of you for that time.
Sweet.
Excuse me. Yeah, so this one was longer than this one's turning out to be.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I might need to do that with this one. I would just take another doily of some kind and just step out the edges a little bit. And then you could use your closure under that and make it work. There's always a way. Another thing you could do is, I like this shibori ribbon, and you could go to the back side of your piece, okay? And you could take a piece and lay it out like that, and you'll leave a little bit left over, and then you'll put a little doily on each edge, and then fold it back a little bit, or sew it. You might want to sew it in this case, and then do your snaps or whatever you're going to do for closure. But that gives you a little bit of the lip on it. See, now I measured that. I thought it was going to be great. See, that won't close. Almost, but no cigar. Okay, here's another way. This stuff here. Okay, so what we do is, maybe I won't have the spangles on the back. And I'll just lay this out with some extra on each side, glue it to the back real good and solid, and then I will do my closures on the backs of here. But I have to be careful and measure my wrist really well, because if I get it too big, that's almost as bad. Okay? So yeah, I think what I did is I folded too much under over here. Anywho, let me just go ahead and put this together. I have arthritis in my thumbs. Yay me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And
awful.
it's hurting today pretty bad, so.
I'm sorry.
Well, what are you going to do? It's better to get old than don't get old, right? I always tell young people, don't get old, but really, that's not a good wish for them.
No, you just tell them.
Get old.
You should
Have a good life.
maybe tell the young ones, like the smaller ones, like they're still in school and stuff. Stay young.
Stay
Then you'll
young.
miss, because then you'll start paying bills.
Forever young, forever young.
Nobody
You guys
likes
remember that song?
Yeah.
May you stay forever young. Mm-hmm. Used to play that on the guitar. I've been watching people, playing rhythm guitar a lot, and I'm like, Brenda, why did you let that go? Why did you stop doing that? I played every bit as good as they are. Now I can hardly do nothing. Because my hands hurt. That's why, if you're going to play an instrument, play it when you're young. Okay. So now I'm going to put this over here. Just a sec. Oh boy. That's not something you want to get up your nose. Ah. Yeah, the only one who played guitar around here is Jordan. But I have to say, and I say this with a little smile on my face, he wouldn't be playing if I hadn't. He would never have picked it up. But mine was here, and he watched me play mine, and he got interested. I think I told you a story before. He came to me and said, Mom, can I have your old guitar? And I'm like, no. And I thought about it. And I said, well, I'll tell you what. I'll make a deal with you. If you can figure out how to take the strings off. I'll get you a new set of strings. Take the strings off, put them back on right, and then tune it all on your own with no knowledge of playing the guitar. I'll give it to you. And I figured he'll give up on that quick. I would have.
Yeah.
No. He had done no time.
What?
So I says, oh well, if you're that determined, you have that much ability, then you will play this guitar, so take it. And we'll get you a better one as soon as I can afford it. And that is what we did. And Mama bought Jordan a lot of guitars. Not a lot of guitars. I bought him a bass and a bass amp. I bought him a regular amp. I bought him a Stratocaster. I bought him 12 string, nice 12 string, all kind of stuff. And he played all of it pretty nicely too. Okay, so I'm gonna put this one at the bottom maybe. No, this is raw edge up here. I'm gonna take care of that. Okay, I'm gonna turn this a little bit. Yeah, I never thought he'd do it. He says, all right, well, if you can take this, get the strings off without damaging the guitar, and get a new set on, get them on right, and then tune it properly, at least close. I says, then you can have it. I thought it was pretty safe there. I wouldn't give him my guitar. But he did it right away. He says, all right. He doesn't have much time to play right now, though, with his new job. He wants to come back here so bad. And I wish he would, too. I wish he could, because I miss him. And he handled a lot of stuff that's kind of hard for me now, because I can't do all the stuff that I just can't do it. I don't have the stuff in me. About all I can do is do the reordering, do a little bit of marketing, and talk to people and make these projects up, figure out how to show people how to do them. Try to make sure I have most of the stuff. And that's about all I can do. I know different times one's asked, oh, why don't you have a class again? Oh, I'd love to. I would love to, but I don't have the steam to do it, and I know it. That's a smart person who knows what they can and cannot do, and I cannot do that. So, they were fun, though, when we had them, that's for sure. I don't know either with the, economy and things costing so much out there, too, that we really have as many people as we needed to come and be a part of it, Last time I was going to have it, I had to cancel it because of COVID. That was the year 2020 when we got COVID. And they wouldn't give me my deposit back. And I thought, well, I'll live. But I thought, that's not how you treat people. When there's a deadly disease out there, it'll make people feel like they have to come and get sick. I mean, I wouldn't have ridden on a plane then either. I don't know if I'd ride on one right now. The way things are going.
Oh, you mean those things?
Everything's racking up.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's like, well, they say it's more likely you get killed by a car than a plane.
Well, that's the way it used to be, but they're having bad plane wrecks just about every day. And for years they didn't. And it's because they don't have the checks and balances that they once had because they don't have the manpower.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, I think
I didn't know it was not, they didn't have manpower.
I think it's, well, they eliminated a lot of those jobs here recently, so.
Well, I was thinking that, yeah, those people have a rough, I'm going to be honest.
I'm not going to get all into it here because I'm not a political person.
No, I meant the airplane people, the ones at the top thingy. I forget what they're called. They help control the
air traffic.
Air traffic control.
Yeah, a lot of them got let go.
That's a stressful job.
It's a very stressful job. A lot of them got let go.
I didn't
So
know.
we don't have as many.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, it's a bad situation out there.
Oh, I thought it was.
They're
because-
closing down a lot of government agencies that do people a lot of good.
Okay, I thought it was the airlines. I have no idea.
So, but that's what they're doing, and I just try to find happiness wherever I can. I try to be kindly and helpful to as many people as I can. What did they say? Give me the serenity to know what I can change and what I can't, and the wisdom to know the difference. Because that's a big deal. Do
Yeah.
you know the difference between what you can do and what you can't?
Gloria said her airlines wouldn't refund her airfare either.
I know, and I felt bad about it, but I couldn't do anything about it.
I had the same thing when somebody's wedding was like in 2019. I didn't get a refund. I got a credit. I think.
Yeah, usually they'll give you a credit for another flight, Gloria.
that's-
You go different places, you'd think that
That's what I did. I got a credit and I used that towards.
they might not give it your money back, but they'll give you credit.
Yeah, and you had a limit. You had to use it
Within a certain amount of
2
time.
years. It's like, okay,
Well,
that
that's
sounds
not
good.
that's not unreasonable. Usually within 2 years it goes somewhere.
Hi, Beansy.
Beansy's out there.
Yeah, she's out there.
She shut up.
Pat says, "How's your piano?"
My piano is sitting there waiting for me to play it. I've done a lot with it, but I'm funny. Once I get started with something like that, even if I don't do it for a while, the next time I sit down to do it, I'm going to do it better. I don't know, like that break in between, I've had time to think about it. And I think a lot about theory, even though I'm not on there playing it, And I go and try different intervals and that, and I try to see if I can recognize the note. Like, I hear somebody sing a certain note that's kind of high, and everybody's making a big deal out of it because they say, "Oh, it's so I was like, well, we'll just find out, And so I go to my keyboard and I'll find out where it is. A lot of times it's not that high, but sometimes it'll sound real high. But I haven't been singing or anything. I just, I got that flu and I just kind of let it go for a while. I'll go back to it. And when I go back to it, I will be better at it.
Wow.
That's how I am. I know when I pick my guitar up again, I'll do better with it. It's just a weird thing with me. Shouldn't be that way, but it is with me. Especially if I'm thinking about it. I'm watching people play the guitar. Oh, they did that. Let me look at that again. Roll it back and look at it. Then I'll go and see if I can figure out what key they're playing it in. And, try to find out the weird chords in that key. Because sometimes, just because it's in a certain key does not mean that all the chords are going to be generally the chords they use. And they might throw you for a loop in there. I know Pat knows that. Anybody that messes around with music knows that. It's like, what is that? I felt so dumb. I was trying to learn a song. It was in the key of D. And there was a sound that was just like, that don't belong there. What is that? And I looked at it and said, well, they're asking you to play a G minor. I don't know if that belongs in there. I'm thinking, no, it doesn't. And then they wanted you to play a B, just a regular B minor, not a B flat minor.
A B.
Yeah, B.
Pat
And
says
I'm
you.
thinking, I don't know if that belongs in there either. And I'm like, oh, yes, it does. Dumbhead, you can't remember nothing, can you?
Well, Pat says you'll get back to it. I have done that my whole life.
Yeah. You leave something for a while, just like jewelry making. Do you guys know? I'm sure I told you before. I'm repeating myself, but I went 3 years without making one thing.
What? What was this?
After I had my bad operation with the big ugly tumor
Oh.
that almost killed me, I was convinced for a time that I got it from using E6000 a lot. But I don't think so.
Unless you were eating it.
No, I wasn't eating it. You know, I lecture everybody about that. Closed containers only.
Containers.
You know,
And don't eat it with...
A lot of people, too, I've noticed
Wash
they
your
use
hands.
it. They use it. They're there with the E6000
And then
and they got it right up by their face.
Or they're eating a Cheeto while they're putting
Yeah,
E6000.
no, we don't do that. So...
Aw. Pat says there's a lot of mistakes on sheet music.
There are, but I'm not using sheet music.
Oh, you're just using this pitch, like the sound?
Yeah, I'm not.
Oh, that's
you know,
cool. I can't do
I'm
that.
just doing.
I can't do that.
Like, cause I'll be listening for it.
Yeah.
You know, and I've got to say, okay, this is in a key of D. I know it is. Okay, cool, because I can play in a key of D pretty good. All right. So I go to start playing, and I'm like, no, that ain't it. I'll hit a snag where it's an unusual chord that normally would not belong in that key. No, that ain't it.
Can somebody put a cab in the middle if they want
Yeah,
to?
they sure could. You know, I thought would be really
That would be
pretty
cute, actually.
is if you could glue, but you have to glue down real hard.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if a 40 by 30 was probably, it would definitely fit in there.
Oh, yeah, it would definitely.
But it
Or
might be
25.
too heavy for it, so I might go with the 25 by 18. Put it right in there, one of those beautiful glass cameos like we have, which I'm going to buy some more real soon.
So Pat says, are you playing by ear?
Well, kinda.
Yeah, I think you
But
would be.
I'm using what I learned about theory to play by ear, so I wouldn't have a clue where to go otherwise. I'd be just pecking it out like this, you know, and I don't want to play like that. I sit down, okay, what key do I want to put this in? What key sounds closest to the original? And I figure that out, okay, so it's going to be this key. If it comes up like it's E flat or something, or an E or whatever, I'm like, no, we're not playing in it, because that's a hard, we're more flats and sharps depending on what it is. I don't play anything that has more than 2 sharps.
T-shirt.
At the most. I'm a wuss. If it's in a key of C, how much better is that? No flats, no sharps. We'll be at the Kingdom Hall singing our songs, and there's like an interval or something that's odd, and I can't figure out what it is. And the first thing you know, I can go in the back of my iPhone and find the sheet music for it if I click a couple of places, and I'll bring that sheet music up and I'll enlarge it and look, okay, what'd they do? What'd they do there? What was that? I'm like, oh, that was clever. I like things that are cleverly written. But yeah, I'd even forgotten a lot of my circle of fifths, but I got that back now. I'm okay. I'm okay there. I just need to play with it a lot, not more. I hear like a song that I used to like a long time ago, and I hadn't heard it in years, and now I heard it. Maybe it was on YouTube or something, and I say, oh, I love that song. I love that song. So I'll run out to my keyboard, and I'll turn it on, and I'll key it, figure out what key, and can I do that? Oh, shucks. It's in a hard key. Shucks, do I want to do that? Well, the smart thing to say was, yeah, you will do that because that's how you're going to get it back. And I was like, I don't want to do anything wrong now. Anyway, I'll figure it out. Then I'll go online and see if I can find sheet music. And a lot of times I can't. So then what I have to do is go put the song on and listen line by line and write it down. All the words. Write them down. Then I have to go back and figure out what chord goes at what beat. And write that in there. And then I can play it. Usually. Not every, so what do you guys think? This looks pretty cute, huh? I kind of like that. I'm just not real sure what I'm going to do tonight. You know, maybe I only need to lengthen it on one side. That might look better even, because I'm going to have to do something. Or maybe I need to go, like Maud was saying, how about hook and eyes? I could maybe stretch this. I could probably stretch, ooh.
Can you?
Yeah, and you know, this stuff, this E6000 glue that's for fabric, it is stretchable. So maybe that's the key, just take it and stretch it. Like you ever get a sweater and you throw it in the dryer and you shouldn't have done so. You shouldn't have thrown it in the dryer, so you take it out and it's like this big, you know. It's like, no! You know, so you take it and you stretch it out, you know, carefully pull it out. You should have done that before you dried it. Anyway, sometimes you can get it back. Well, that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to see if I can get another ½ inch out of it.
I remember my mom did that one time.
Hey, look it, look it, look it, look it. Looky, looky, looky. It's almost the same. See? Listen to the old girl. She knows a thing or two. That's all. A thing or two. That's it.
You still stretching it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like stretching pants.
That's part of the, yeah. That's part of the fun of when you play just for your own enjoyment and you don't care about if it's all technically correct and that. And you go through a piece of sheet music and Pat said a lot of times it's wrong. It is. A lot of times it's like,
Oh, really?
ain't no way they took the easy way out. That is not how that should be. So, or you'll go through it and you'll say, well, that's how it should be, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
So, I guess I'll play it my way. And that's how I would do. I think I'll put that one there. I think I got it stretched out enough.
I think so.
Like every kid who ever learns to play the piano, and you guys that have learned, you know this, you have to learn Fur-Elise at some point. I mean, I have not known one kid. Claire to learn Fur-Elise. Okay. I did so much stuff with Fur-Elise, it was like not right. I mean, who wrote that? Bejeweled, I think. He would have, he was not liked it. I had fun. I didn't care. Then I learned how to play it on a guitar. There's only 3 chords in it. Aha, 3 chords in the truth. So, for those of you who are not interested in music, this has been completely boring, so I better get back to
You know what? Well, you know what? Everybody should be interested in music if you listen to music any time of life.
I've always been that way. If there's a song that I like, I'll go, if I can get the sheet music, and I'll get it, and I get so much joy out of reading down through it and see how it was made. And I may never be able to play it properly because I lack the discipline, but I know what's going on. And I'll just say, oh, that was so smart how they did that. I love that. You know, like, you remember Burt Bacharach? He died not too long ago. You probably don't know who that is,
No,
honey.
I have no idea.
He's the one who wrote Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head.
No.
Remember that one? Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I do remember that.
From, what was it, Billy, who was that? Sundance and something or other. Robert Redford was in it, Paul Newman. Yeah, he wrote that song.
It's like sometimes when somebody says a phrase and I'll just think of that song all day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things that gets in your head and will not go away. So anyway, there was this song that I heard in some movie, very obscure movie, and never was popular, that kind of thing.
Oh.
And there was a song in it, it was called God Give Me Strength. And it was like, you're going to kill the guy. There's a lyric and it says, he makes me feel like a lipstick on a shirt, like a lipstick stain on a shirt. Me, I'm only human. I want him to hurt. I want him to hurt. It goes like that. I don't know. I just always like that song. So anyway, so I get this book of sheet music, all kinds of Burt Bacharach songs, which most of them are not hard to figure out. But anyway, that one had some boogers in it. And it was a little bit hard. But I did figure it out and got to the place, and I did use the sheet music whenever I had to. That's me. I'll use it when I have to.
Can't be. Peace.
But that was the best class I ever took, was music theory. Not piano lessons, not guitar lessons, not nothing. It was music theory.
Music.
Because you learn how music is put together and made. Okay, now we need to talk about how this cuff
how
is going to
this
go
is
together.
gonna go.
Which I think you can see, you know, how my brain is working as I go along here. It's assemblage, right, guys? It's just assemblage.
Yeah, kind of.
And how many times have we done assemblage out of 605 videos? You know, I should make that the big question, and if you can go count them and figure it out and come back with the answer, then maybe you win some. I don't know. That would be fun, wouldn't it? That'd be fun. How many? So okay. So first, I have to tell you the question. The question would be, how many of my videos are assemblage videos?
Oh my goodness, that's a good question.
And it doesn't have to be like cha-cha assemblage. Doesn't have to be mini assemblage. Doesn't have to be clay, whatever. You know, just assemblage. It's all assemblage. I have some ideas for some stuff we're going to make this year. I know I've been hinting around about this for a long time and never did anything. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to like decorate Altoid tins and make them tell a story. I saw ways to do frames, and it made me remember stuff I used to do with a book, or I did with a frame and used lace over the whole thing. You had to get cheap lace, but we used lace over the whole thing. You know, it's not hard assemblage like you're using buttons and hard things. It's soft assemblage, things like that. I can't remember what all I wrote down, but one day I was in there, and boy, I'll tell you what, I just came up with all kinds of ideas. That's why I say I got to write it down, right? Which I did someplace, but I don't remember it right now. Anyhow, we're going to do some fun things this year, and it's not going to all be jewelry making, because it kind of seems like, okay, that's going to be my first love, but it's not my only love. As you know, I've been sitting here talking about music for how long, right? Making jewelry is not my only love. Making stuff is not my only love, you know. And I'm sure it's the same with you. Maybe some of you guys like to garden. You like to garden? I love to garden. Do I get to do it? No, because I'm not in good enough shape to really go out and work that hard. But I used to. My whole backyard was a garden. Big sunflowers, like trees. Loved it. So what do you think? I had to put something in the middle there. I think I'll pull on it a little bit to make it. But you see, it popped, you know, it's going to be okay now. I think I just have to stretch it out. I'll put it on the rack. Well, not quite yet, but I'll make it work. So that's what we will do in the next lesson, is I will show you how I made this work, okay? Show you what you can do to make stuff work when it's not working. And I want to show you this other piece too before we go today, because I think maybe you'll take away something from this too. I got to put something in the middle. That, no way does that look right. Okay. You know those handmade roses that we made in Uptown Boho? Right here. Oh, by the way, I got my preview issue of Belle Armour for the spring edition. Came yesterday, the day before. And I have a project in it. In fact, I have two. One is a great big soft boho. I think I did it at the end of the class. It had all the rolled roses made out of sari, and it was all lace. There was hardly any glue in it. It was mostly sewn. That one, they took that, and then they put a pair of my tattered lace earrings in. So that was nice. So I gotta figure out what I want to do in the middle. Maybe I'll make one of those rolled roses for there. I think that would be cool. Anyway, here's what I did earlier. Let me move these out of the way. I want to show you this because I think it'll mean something to you. Okay, so let's say that you have a piece of this lace that I used for my backing, and there's just not enough there. To make a good cuff, I think you need at least 4 sections like this on your piece. You know, you need to make, it needs to be at least like 7.5, and I even ended up shrinking it up at that. You know, so you could have it with 5. You can always cut a piece off, you know, if it's too big. But anyway, I only had 3, and I'm like, that could still work. Don't sweat it. So what I did is I took a piece of shibori ribbon, which is this stuff, and I think you guys all got a piece of it, no piece. And your kid. People bead these. So, anyway, so I took that and I turned it over and I put it on the back. Of course, now you can see I got some glue stuff going on. So I got I'll tell you, I don't care if there's a little bit of fray. I don't care if the stitch isn't quite right, but I do care if there's glue mess. You know how I feel about glue mess. I do not like it. Whether it's oozy glue mess or stained glue mess or whatever. So this has got it because I used this. And it's not viscose enough, so it's a little bit runny. So it went over. So I decorated the inside, and I still have a few little places. I'll maybe take some little flat thing. It has to be something soft, because this is going to be the piece that's on your wrist. So you don't want that, you know, goofing you up. So I can take that. I've got these doilies now on the ends I glued on it, and a little bit of this. All I have to do is turn this over a little bit, the shibori ribbon, and now it'll fit. So that'll be good. So do you understand what I did? Take two little doilies, glue this down to the shibori, 2 little doilies, and glue them on the ends so that you have something to stretch your piece out, right? And then that's the back side. That looks a little prettier than it needs to. But sometimes it's pretty to see, you know, what they did inside. And when I do the outside, it'll be real fancy, right? So that's what I did to extend it. You know, just kind of have to use your noggin a little bit. You think, okay, I had a problem here. And I really can't go backwards. So what I'm going to do about this and not make it look like all cobbled up. That's what my dad would say, it's all cobbled up. So once I get done with this isn't going to look cobbled up. It's going to look like, oh, she meant to do that. That's what you want. When you mess up, that's what you want. That's what she meant to do. I think I might sew this part so that I can turn it under and not fray. Anyways, that's kind of what I have to say about that. She says, I love all kinds of crazy jazz chords. Yeah, my fingers can stretch far enough. They can stretch far enough. Oh, what did Elise say?
Who?
She says, thank you so much, wearing stone.
Oh, that was me.
Yeah, I know, but what did Elise say? I'll go back.
Oh, she gave you $50 on there.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, bless your heart. You didn't need to do that.
That was so nice of her. Yeah, you didn't need to do that.
Yeah, she says, Butch Cassidy's Sundance Kid. Oh my goodness, I've taught that so many times, can hardly teach anymore. Yeah. Fearless and Claire de Lune. Honestly, of the two, I'll take Claire de Lune. But there's just something compelling about that beginning of Fearless. Then you get to the middle part. La la la. Anyway, you know what I mean, Pat. You know what I mean. Then I got real ignorant and I played it on my guitar, like in country chords. Well, it wasn't country chords because it's in a minor key. I just can't remember which one. Anyway, I took it and played it like picking style. It was weird to say the least, but you know, sometimes you just have to have some fun with it. Oh, she's music mistakes. Oh yes. Match the pitch. That's right. You got to go figure out. Or say, oh, there's Colleen Hine. There she is. You're never late. Because you know why? Why are you never late here?
Because you can...
You can never be late.
Yeah, you can never be late.
Because this is recorded.
Okay, and then everybody who watches later on, hello, we love you.
Yeah, we love you. So if you watch it later on, you couldn't make it now. Well, we're still thinking of you.
Yeah, we have definitely...
Just leave me a comment. How about that?
Yeah.
I don't care. Just leave me a comment. I need those comments. And I think they're making, I wouldn't say anything like making a huge difference, but they are making a difference. And if nothing else, they make me feel encouraged, because sometimes, being honest with you, I get kind of discouraged over the videos. They don't go the way I want them to, or people don't respond to them much, and I'm saying, okay, that was a dog, you shouldn't have done that, you know. Or I just get tired and I feel like, you know, I just don't have the ideas. Well, Javi knows. How many times do you come to work and say, oh, what are we doing for video today? I said, nothing.
We need one
And then she started getting on me. She says, you know, if you're going to do stuff for at YouTube and you want to grow, you got to show up.
Yeah, you just
So
got
if
to
you say you're going to show up on Friday, you're showing up on Friday, and that's that, you know, unless somebody gets sick or whatever, which could happen. So, you know, I got no excuse here, because if Javi can't come, Diane is here, she could do this, and Lauren can do this. So I am covered. I am totally covered. But they're shipping boxes today, and I need them to do that, so that's all good, too. So I think that's all I had to say. I said it would last about an hour and a half, and it did.
There you go.
So I hope you got something from this that you can use. Let me tell you what. I had such a good time sitting watching the movies, Hallmark movies. It's the same thing over and over again, like Harlequin romance novel, same story, just different setting. Anyway, watching those and messing around to find out, okay, you know, what can I show, folks? It's going to make this cool. And I think I did. I love these little cuffs I made. I mean, I would, like, totally wear them. I'm just not done. Just seemed to me there's some little things that needs to fill. You know, I need to fill yet. And the same with here. Although I think this is filled even a little bit better because it goes out to the edges.
Oh, yeah.
But see, now it's shrunk up. Do you see that? When I pulled on it, it was more, I might just have to sit here and like go like this for a long time. Stretch.
What happened? I had to...
Pin it. Stay there. Okay. Thanks for coming, guys. Love you all. I'm going to try and do this for you next Friday. My husband did have somewhere he thought I should go with him next Friday. A friend of ours is coming back on an airplane, and she wants to get picked up. So he says, well, I'm going to go get her. And then we were going to go out and have some dinner. I'm like, well, I should probably come with you. And I'm like, yeah, you probably should. So, I don't know. I might not be able to make it next week on Friday. But if I don't, I'll figure another day. Okay? So we won't lose. Thanks again. It's a beauty. Oh, Carol, you're so nice. See how this stuff comes off? Not that it's anything that looks beautiful, but see how it pulls off your finger.
Oh, it's like Elmer's glue or something.
Yeah, it is. And it has that kind of texture. So, you know, it's not going to stay on there. I'm going to get it all off easy. Okay, guys, have a happy Friday and a great weekend, and go make a cuff, why don't you? Especially if you got the kit, you got the stuff. Okay, you're all ready to go. Okay, bye, guys.
Bye.